war das Beste für dich?
Eigentlich festzustellen, wie schnell man mit dem richtigen Team ein gutes Produkt in so kurzer Zeit auf die Beine stellen kann.
Welcome back to the room where it all started yesterday morning. It's, the last part of a very exciting journey that was a pleasure to share with all of you. For those of you who haven't been here actually the last 2 days, those of you who arrived from the workshops or from some other part in the world, welcome. This is a very unique and special moment that really happens just once a year, and that's always end of February in Berlin, when around 100 legal hackers, that is lawyers, developers, legal engineers, UX designers, accountants, all kinds of people with all kinds of different backgrounds coming together in Berlin to reinvent the future of law. It's a huge honor to have been with all of you guys. You're absolutely amazing. You were excellent to one another. You were creative. You were engaged. You were focused. I left last night at midnight and there were still easily 30 people hacking away. I have no idea. Maybe somebody actually stayed. It was really quite amazing to witness. Now, I want to repeat what I said in the very beginning when we started out this journey. Without our sponsors, nothing of this would have been possible. Especially our main sponsor, Era Micro, who is a cornerstone of the legal tech industry in Germany. Without their great gift and support of this event, we wouldn't be here. So thank you very much to all our sponsors. Please, a big applause for our sponsors. We had, next to Era Micro, we had obviously STP, also a big supporter. They were here with the team, just like Era Micro, and I think both the teams had an amazing time. That's what I saw. We had Ocean Protocol. It's a Berlin blockchain startup that has worldwide fame and recognition for being a thought leader in the data space and the tokenization and ownership of data, reinventing the future of data in the 21st century, giving workshops and actually working out a particular roadmap how to build something on their technology stack with the team here. Thank you also to Beth, who was doing a workshop here, a brainstorming station that was really cool. Heike from Unterschied and Macher, who was also doing a brainstorming station, giving a workshop at the embassy. Ganzel Rechtsanwälte, who are always supporting us since the very beginning. Doc Ops, who's going to be an exhibitor tomorrow. And very particularly also thank you to SKW Schwarz, who has become an ecosystem partner this year and who is actually sponsoring the open bar tonight. So thank you very much for that as well. All right, so what did we do? We screamed to the world, let's reinvent law, and we brought 3 different categories of people together: lawyers, developers, and legal engineers. We had over 200 applications. We could confirm around 110. And we had basically a third of lawyers, a third of developers, and a third of legal engineers. It was very impressive, the diversity, the skill set, and the creativity that came together. We started with idea hacking in AI and law, in blockchain, in digital law firm, and all other kinds of interesting topics. We did idea pitching, and people could exchange the ideas that they brought to this event. We had team buildings happening in front of huge walls of ideas. And obviously, the prototype hacking was absolutely amazing. People just staring at their screens, but being extremely productive. It was fascinating to watch. Free massages were obviously popular, and the list of reservations for these massages was full. And we ended up having 17 teams with 17 prototypes to present. That's mind-blowing. Please give yourselves a huge applause for that. Now, what's at stake, right? Obviously, nobody knew what you could win on this hackathon, and people were still absolutely focused on delivering the best possible idea and prototype they could. However, the winners tonight won't go home with empty pockets. The first place is gonna win 2,000 euros in cash, second place 1,000 euros in cash, and the third place 500 euros in cash. Obviously, all these 3 winning teams can pitch again tomorrow at the conference. They are invited for free of charge to spend there the whole day and pitch in the afternoon their idea again to a room full of suits. Also, we will feature the teams in our Rethinking Law magazine. You will get some exposure. It's amazing. You should also all subscribe to the Rethinking Law, obviously. And now it's time for the pitch. We're actually already over time, so let's start with team number 1. Just to explain the rules again, the teams pitching will have 5 minutes to explain their idea and show their prototype to the crowd. There will be no questions from the jury. There will just be applause, switch, connect computers, and continue, okay? The jury that we have here tonight, let me introduce them for those that are not familiar yet. We have Anne Schlestedt from Era Micro sitting here as a jury member. Thank you, Anne, for taking the time. We have yeah, please, big applause. We have Stefan Hüper from Microsoft, and thank you. He was actually already here last year and also was the whole 2 days here, and he knows you guys, I think, really, really well. So thank you, Stefan, for actually taking the time and following the event so closely. Very cool. We have Stefan Schicker from SKW. Thank you very, very much. And last, but certainly not least, we have Ingrid Thoma from STP. Thank you very much, Ingrid, for being here. And last, but certainly not least, our 5th jury member. That was the penalty for coming too late with the phone in your ears, Clemens. We have Clemens Koos from Signals VC. Thank you very much, Clemens. Why is this jury here? Well, all of them work with legal tech in their everyday life. And they work with it because somehow they and their company understood how to actually make legal tech commercially viable. So I think they have a very interesting perspective to contribute, and I think you'll do a very good job in giving our teams a fair assessment. Without any further ado, and I will do it like this, I will always say 2 team names. I will say the name of the team that is pitching now and the name of the team that is pitching afterwards for the second team to prepare, all right? Okay, so we will now have the team Linder on stage, and I want to ask the team Talent Stream to get prepared.
As we prep, thank you heaps for organising this. Really cool. Our first time, or at least mine and Eric's first time, and we've really enjoyed it. More than anything, I think we're excited to see what everyone else is going to present after us, so thanks. Effectively, we have 3 of us here, and I guess this will serve as a bit of an introduction to us all.
So, hi, my name is Eric de la Fuente, and I'm not a lawyer.
Hi, I'm Julius Gleich. I'm a law student from Berlin, and I'm studying in Berlin as well.
And my name's Klim Taseski. I'm a lawyer, as you can see, and from my accent you'll tell I'm from Australia. Together, we're the 3 intended users of the product that we're going to explain to you. It's called Linder. Effectively, what we see is a platform where we can solve each of their respective problems. A layperson, not a student of the law, such as Eric, might have issues accessing law because they don't understand it. What we propose is a platform that provides a medium for that understanding, leveraging on the use of students who might have their own needs that we hope to be able to fix as well. Those needs are the needs for experience. Students definitely have a lot of theoretical knowledge, but not necessarily the experience to be able to apply it. And what we plan is to provide a platform where we can allow them to have that experience. And last, but definitely not least, we have lawyers who might have barriers to accessing the market, partially because there's a lack of time, it's a busy industry, and also because they might not know what's around them. You don't necessarily have a perfect overview of the market as it is at the moment. We hope that our platform might allow that to change. What we want is a mutually beneficial platform where effectively we allow each of them to benefit from each other.
So the idea was to make it very simple. So we looked at the available time and we thought, let's make something quick and easy that we can use to explain to you what it is. So when you arrive on the screen, it straight away asks you what is the matter that you need help with. You can type it in your own language and you can select your location and click submit. And then it gives you a list of all the matters that you have in the system. If you need help with another one, you can click and request help like that.
So there are also 2 other users of this platform. We'll first go over the law students. So after the layperson writes out their case, the law student will have to sign in and somehow verify that they're actually a law student. So for example, they can upload just some proof from their university, verify themselves, and then to gain experience, they can start working on cases. So what we have here, for example, is a case that a layperson has written out. They even provided a picture for us to look at. And so the problem with this case is that the landlord won't fix a broken drainage pipe. So as a legal student, I have some theoretical knowledge. So I will start just reading the case that the layperson wrote out in their language, and I'll start tagging it with different tags. For example, what I can see immediately is that they're a tenant and they're renting in Berlin, will probably be a civil law case. So I'll submit it, and I'll even get a rating on the tags that I've used. So there's an incentive to give the most accurate tags. And as a lawyer, I'll see the cases that are that have been tagged, and I can see the broken pipe again. And so I'll make a quick proposal, and then we can hope that I'll find the perfect client and I'll be their perfect lawyer.
Effectively, what we have is an ecosystem, hopefully, that can not only provide access to each other, but something mutually beneficial that can last. We want to have a labeled data set with supervised machine learning effectively done through the tagging that we've just described. Lawyers bidding for cases, potentially. This is another appendage that we could have. There's multiple possibilities that we don't see yet, but we plan to develop further. Thank you very much.
Okay, please give it up for Talent Stream.
Hi guys. Well, I guess just as me, you're all using LinkedIn, which kind of is a really nice social media platform, but when you look at the recruiting and application process, it sucks. Because, well, you only, despite the fact that you really provide so much personal information to LinkedIn, you only get really unmatching job proposals and lots of spam emails from recruiters. And when you actually apply for to a company, this is being all done outside of LinkedIn. Well, basically, you go through email, you share your application documents, and that is that. So looking at LinkedIn and platforms like LinkedIn, what is it actually? Those are centralized market data places where every individual person shares lots of personal data, which then goes to LinkedIn. They control it, they can misuse it, they can lose it. And we believe this is not the way it should be. We believe you should be able to control your data. You should only be the one who decides who can access your personal data, and you should be the only person who decides who uses your data and who can make money from it, so only with your consent. So what we propose is a recruiting platform called, we call it Talent Stream, which is based on the Ocean blockchain protocol. Well, how does it work? The way it works is you store your personal data the way you have always been doing it. This is the data container, like on your personal computer or using something like Dropbox as the way you would like to want it. So only you can access this data. I'm talking about diplomas, high school, law school certificates. What you do share with our platform is only the information that you want to have publicly available. That would be where would I want to work, in which area of law I want to work, and what kind of job I'm looking for. So this is the information I'm sharing on Talent Stream, and companies that are looking for a candidate with this profile, they want to know more about me, they want to learn about me, and they want to be able to access my documents. You know, they want to look at my certificate. The Ocean Protocol offers a way how I can have the company have a look at my documents without actually sending the document to the company. This works through access token. So I decide that the company can purchase an access token, which allows them to, for a limited time, view my personal data. So I'm in charge of the data, I can control it, and I decide who gets access to it. So how does it look?
Thanks. Yeah, how does it look? Well, Talent Stream puts the legal candidate in the driver's seat of the whole recruiting process. He's the one who decides how things are going to happen. But let's take a look at it from the recruiter side. So the recruiter is able to narrow down what he's looking for example, by the exam grade, which is still important in Germany, the city, the practice area, and so on. And then in the first iterations or the first view, he gets a list of candidates that might possibly fit. And then, and this is the thing that is really new also from the approach, he's able to dig deeper into the data, and if he wants to dig deeper, he has to pay for it. He pays for it to the candidate who is providing the data and who owns the data at the end. Well, let's say the recruiter has a particular candidate in mind. He had a look at his previous work experience, at the exam grade, and he decides, okay, yeah, this candidate is really good, and I want to get in touch with him. So this is also not something that the recruiter of the law firm then decides, but this is at the end what the candidate has to decide. And how we do it, we let the recruiter bid for the right to contact the person. So he bids to get the name and the contact details of the person. And if you look at the candidate side, the candidate has a list of law firms being interested in contacting him, and he's able to choose, okay, do I want to let Freshfields or A&O or Linklaters or whoever contact me? And so he's able to assess how much he's worth to the particular law firm. Briefly about our value proposition, I think it's pretty clear. The legal professional, he retains full control over the data. He doesn't get this whole unqualified requests anymore. And the recruiter, well, he gets highly qualified contracts for a fraction of the cost of a headhunter. And the business model is also simple. Thanks.
It's also part of our team.
All right. yeah, give it up for Team Cap Council.
Thank you. So hello, we are Team Cap Council, and the idea of Cap Council is quite simple. It is a platform to help match startups with lawyers willing to provide legal services for equity. So right now there are two problems in this ecosystem. Startups are usually broke, and lawyers are usually bored. So here we got the Maslow pyramid of needs, and we used advanced mapping algorithms and 23,000 plot points to visualize this nice graphic. We can see here a typical startup, which is in the low corner of the pyramid. So like they're looking for shelter, basic food, basic needs, and TechCrunch dimensions. Lawyers, on the other hand, are on top now. So like they are a nice disposable income, nice day-to-day job, everything's fine. Except they are bored. So if you combine these two little nice guys, like the nice donkey and the bear, that's what's probably happening. Oh no, actually this is what's happening. Everything is fine and nice. So the synergy effects of this platform would be for startups. You get guidance, focus. You got one less headache because you don't have to think about funding all the time. And of course, you have a prolonged long runway. Lawyers have the benefit of new input. They can choose the projects, so they can choose passion projects, what they want, what they're interested in, into environmental task or whatever. They have possible a great ROI, and of course a long-term client. The monetization is also quite simple. We just take a cut of the equity. Furthermore, we can use lead gen and sponsors. Another added benefit is the possibility for lawyers to work pro bono for things they think is worth the cost. So we have a small demo. It's actually like a full-fledged website, so no click dummy. But it's a simple one. So basically, you can register as a lawyer. You can register as a startup. We have, of course, some nice mentions. And we are really, really proud that we found the first believers in our project. We found the first sponsor. Give it up for Anwaltskanzlei Tidwell. I didn't really think you'd do that, but thanks. Because this guy was nice enough to sponsor me with €10. So here we have, of course, the first council, the first startup. It's Cap Council. Firstly, you can just see what's going on. For example, you have like some startups. They introduce yourself, tell them what you want, what you do, what you want. And in this case, for example, we choose, of course, my nice startup. And you can basically just contact me, and I'm offering for this presentation only 2% equity for drafting a cap table, which you will then use yourself. So you could be the first user of this platform. So the due diligence, our stats, 300% day-to-day growth. Our balance sheet, we have liabilities, the domain name, €9.90. The accounts receivable, we get the €10 ad income. So total assets, 10 cents. But we're cash flow positive already after 1 day. The product market fit, let's see if it's happening. I would appreciate if you would consider using my service. If you would like to, scan this code, go to my website, and accept the offer. So right now we have 3% of 10 cents. That's not the best return of investment right now, but in sky's the limit. The future can bring everything. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That was quite impressive. Yeah, the team Distinction was really one of the more active teams here, gluing advertisement on the female toilet. I haven't been there. I just heard they did. Oh, also made. Okay, I didn't see that one. Okay. Are you? Yeah. Okay. Give it up for the team Distinction, please.
Hi everybody. So the idea of Distinction is to provide quick legal help with unwanted dick pics. The idea came up in actually a serious context. I was having dinner with friends of mine, and of 3 friends, 2 of us told us that they were harassed with dick pics, complete strangers, and they felt helpless and harassed. And we then were a little bit shocked and started researching, and we figured out they're not alone. There are statistics that 40% of millennials are receiving those kinds of photos on a daily basis and have received such photos in the past. But they're not taking action. So we looked at why they're not doing it. The issue is the process is unknown. They don't know what the risks are, and they ultimately think it's just too much effort, and as a result, they don't do anything. It's a classical access to justice problem in our opinion, because it's a criminal offense to send those photos. The facts are very clear. An easy screenshot can already prove what happened. And there's also a clear process on the state side to prosecute such things, but nothing is being done. So this is why we built Distinction. It's now a 2-step process, which consists of a criminal complaint first, which we file with the authorities. They start investigations, and we use the authorities to figure out the address to then launch a civil claim, which then makes the offender pay a little bit for whatever he has done and makes sure he's never going to do it again. So because we wanted to build something that's usable from day one, we focused on the first step now, and you can go to distinction.com now. It's a usable product, and Bianca will now guide you through how that works.
Thank you. So we're on my Instagram wall right now. I get a picture from someone I don't know. I've never heard of him before. Ugh. I really don't want to see this. Take a screenshot, and then I go to Distinction, their website, and I'll upload it. Choose the dick pic, upload it, tell them a little bit about it, that I received it on Instagram. Next. It's really easy to fill out. No, I don't know this guy. No, we've never talked before. And then I'll need to insert my data. It's really easy and quick. They really take good care of it. Next. I need to confirm that the information I inserted is correct, that I really understood the risks, and that they can take legal action for me. Check. I can even download the file. Now we're done already. What's next? Distinction tells me about it, what's going to happen. Okay, I can even download the PDF file. Let's have a look at how it actually looks like. Nice.
Nice. So that took 66 seconds to fill this out, and we've now got a professional file which we will send to the authorities, and they will launch the claim. You can do that today. So now the authorities start the process. They will go to the service provider, they will ask for the details, the IP address, and so on, and eventually they will send to us the contact details of this guy. And what we then do is we provide the user with the option if they want to continue and launch the civil claim. If they decide to do so, we would send him another letter, and that letter would contain a German strafbewährte Unterlassungserklärung, which is nothing you want to get. And it would also contain a small bill for our legal fees. And if he signs this strafbewährte Unterlassungserklärung, we basically have a security that he's very unlikely to do this again, and thereby we solve the problem. This lastly brings me to the business case. We've calculated how many people are affected how many people are likely to use our product. We are just assuming 1%, and then if we just use half of the percentage, the turnover, 6.45 million, is a possible number that we would use then to organically grow the platform. We could use some automation techniques, maybe an Instagram chatbot. There's a lot of option, and obviously we would also donate lots of the proceeds to victims' organizations. So, to wrap it up, Dixtinction empowers the victims, it provides access to justice, and we think it has a solid business model to support itself from day one. The best of all is you can go to Dixtinction.com today and use it as we just showed it to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. That was, I heard many people laughing. That was great. Okay, give it up for team Yes We Claim.
Hi, we are Yes We Came, and we created CrowdClaim, a platform for the crowd to upload any legal issue, automatically group matching claims by AI, and finally get what matters to many people resolved. So what's the problem? Many users have recognized or undiscovered claims against the same opponent, but it's very often not very easy to consult a lawyer, so there's no access to justice. Everybody fights for himself. There's no way to actually talk to anyone. What did we do about it? We came up with CrowdClaim. It is the crowd that decides what is a relevant claim. That's different to the present situation. So the individual uploads their unmet legal issue to the platform. It's the crowd who brings up the action that's relevant for them to us. So our software claims the claims automatically by using AI, and after, for example, 100 claims similar to each other are in one bucket automatically collected, then that is the decision for us that CrowdClaim should act. So we will then enforce, in a state-of-the-art manner, legally, the claim and negotiate with the opponent. So we're giving the masses a voice and access to justice, what matters to you.
Okay, on to a live demo. So we built a functioning web app, and the user is welcomed with a interface. It's a free-form text box, so the user can really be creative or give as much detail as the user wants. We have an example use case where the user is talking about a broken car window. In this case, it happens to be a certain car company. And when we press the next button, our AI, which we actually implemented, and does the processing, sort of matches the current claims, the categories of the claims with the user input, and automatically ranks the claims to match what the user might find most relevant. So right now we're processing, and we can see Gewährleistung Autofenster, so something about the cars, the car window. We can also see that our AI, which is another feature that we added, automatically extracts named entities, so we can see in the bold phase that the AI can highlight some certain important names and references, some contextual information. So the user then also can tell on the right-hand side the number of other users on the community, and can get empowered by them and see that if there's a certain threshold reached by one of these categories, that this claim will then get passed on into the later steps of our pipeline. So the user then clicks on this, goes down to select. Now the user can review the process, so we could do the step automatically, but we decided that the user has to validate that this is actually the correct category the user wants, and the user can then subscribe. We can pick a random email, and the user subscribed, and we could see that now Gewährleistung Autofenster is part of the cases that can be claimed. And Sarah will talk about, right, so a little bit of the tech stack. So we're kind of proud of what we built over the short period of time. We used BERT language model, which is a state-of-the-art AI model, which was recently introduced. We used Docker, we used Spacey, React, Python, and much more. And Sarah will talk to you about the timing.
Yeah, the question arises why we came up now with that, because several decisions from high courts showed us that the market is now open for such legal tech tools that enforce rights of users. And on the other hand, that there are existing platforms who do that, but they only concentrate on one specific legal issue, what we do not do. Our target market is, first of all, we address those consumers who've got legal issues but didn't figure out how to categorize them or what legal issue that is. And we also concentrate on claims that wouldn't be profitable without the community. The community makes it a valued claim. Yeah, our advantage is, first of all, it's simple. The consumer doesn't have to categorize something. We've got the networking effect, which makes the claims valuable. And yeah, we do not only cover a certain field of law. Thank you very much.
Okay, some real AI was built this 2 days. That's amazing. All right, please give it up for Team Hate Speech Online.
Hi, I'm Jacek Janczura. I'm from League of Justice. We decided to use machine learning in identifying hate speech online. Hate speech is a huge issue for everyone. 85% of internet users came across hate speech. Here is an example of actual hate speech that was presented by AfD guy. And actually, since it's so common, it's unfortunately neglected. So there is no reaction for hate speech. So what we want to do is we want to create an awareness in people that we should report and we should not tolerate hate speech. And I want to emphasize that we are not fighting with freedom of speech, we are fighting with hate speech, actually. So let's present the demo. We've created an app that is using machine learning to classify a hate speech on Twitter. Recently, I got a mean tweet from Donald Trump. I felt offended, and right now I want to crawl the whole Twitter. Here is the feed of Donald Trump. It actually works. And I want to classify whole Donald Trump tweets and find out how much of them is a hate speech. In here, I've got 2 tweets of Donald Trump that are classified as a hate speech. And I can create a legal action. I can investigate this claim. I can ask a League of Justice to take a look at it. So we can submit it. And lawyers and legal students who are trained to spot if our case actually can work in court decide if we should act or not. Based on that, we can contact a lawyer, which means us, and create a legal part and just sue the guy. This tool can be used as well by prosecutors or lawyers or everyone who can who want to scan the website, scan the profiles on the hate speech. And how about the law and the hate speech? Actually, the law applies to hate speech, and it applies to the internet. But in 2018, only 1,500 cases were taken to court regarding hate speech. We are in Germany. It's 80 million people, hate speech is everywhere, and they were only 1,500 cases. Hate speech is a really sexy topic right now. Recently, Ministry of Justice created a draft bill to enforce websites to allow users to create a really easy, much easier hate speech reporting. And right now, the hate speech is as sexy topic as blockchain in 2017. Because this bill was created in January 2020. But actually, 1,500 cases, it's not much. And we want to change it. Let's make the internet great again, and let's make it visible, report, and enforce the hate speech in the internet. We've created a legal justice plugin for Google Chrome, where we can add the plugin to our where we can add plugin to our Google Chrome. Will automatically crawl through our feed on Twitter as we are looking through the Twitter, and will detect the hate speech, and will inform you as a user to that you should report it. Of course, it's for free and you don't need to do it. But as you want to fight with hate speech, we should report hate speech to the websites to allow them to detect it faster and take down hate speech from the websites. Further use cases of our app, we want to build a plugin for the owners of the blog. Like you can imagine, I'm a blogger. I wrote a blog about politics. And actually, I've got a lot of negative input on my website. I don't want to be connected with the hate speech, so I can use a simple plugin which will filter the comments, and basically I will get rid of the hate speech on my website. So thank you for the attention, and see you next year.
That is a very sexy topic. Thank you very much. Perfect. Please give it up for I Am a Team Lawyer.
Thank you.
So, hi, my name is Heike, and I'm part of the Team Lawyer. So, our job is to enable collaboration in legal projects. Because the problem we are facing is that lawyers are not trained to be team players, but in legal projects, they have to collaborate as a team. So this is an exact picture of how legal projects work today. Because you see, there are so many people in one pool, all working on the same project, but they're really not in the same boat. So there are some other law firms, we don't know exactly what they're working on. In our own team, perhaps some corporate associates in an M&A project work on the deep report, and perhaps the expert we also have in the project does legal opinions, but we're not quite sure. So this is the problem we want to solve, and Team Lawyer provides a solution to that collaboration becomes easy, transparent, and efficient. To show you how it works, there's one very interesting thing, because of course we know that there are already tools for project management, but they are made for project managers, and in law firms typically there are no project managers. So we created a solution which is really easy to use and which connects with already existing infrastructure, so that the data integration is quite easy and we don't create new data which already exists somewhere in the company. So let's have a look how it works. This is the first step in the process, and we generated a prototype which shows that it is quite easy to enter information, because we use solutions like speech to text, so that, for instance, the partner who comes just back from a meeting can easily input the data by mailing to the system or just calling the system, so the partner does not necessarily have to work with a tool. Of course, we crawl for existing data, and we provide context-specific blueprints. Then one of the key elements of the platform is that transparency and collaboration is provided. So we generated a easy to manage task manager. This is especially made for the associates and project workers so that they can easily see what they're working on, but also what the colleagues are currently doing. And then we know there's a really difficult user group, the partners, because we know they don't want to work in those tools and they're not so digitalized by now. So for them, we provide features like a status update, something like a morning briefing, so they can easily get a status update which tasks are internally in time or perhaps yellow, and of course also externally to really manage the project and the process. So let's take your project management to the next level. I think our team is pretty well prepared to support you in this process. Thank you.
Give it up for Team Flatify, please.
Thank you. The business of law is changing. I think that's a fact we all can agree on. Well, that's the reason we are all here tonight, I think. And one of the main reasons for this change is that the way in which legal services are offered and delivered has changed tremendously in the past few years. It used to be the business of traditional lawyers sitting in their traditional office, but today there is new providers in the market. There are new business models in which legal services are offered, and of course there are new technologies are released daily. Some lawyers are able to embrace with these changes, but some are not. Anyway, if a lawyer belongs to the first group or the second, all of them have to deal with the same challenges. The first one is clients nowadays expect not only a high quality service, they are also much more educated than clients used to be in the past. They want to understand what the lawyer is doing. They want to understand where a price comes from, and they want the price to be transparent. On the other hand, lawyers want to make use of all those new fancy legal technology offers that are in the market now. They want to improve their quality. They want to improve the speed of their offers. But of course, they do not want to be punished when they are more effective. The classic currency in this industry, the billable hour, won't cope with these challenges, even if the billable hour is used as the basis to calculate a flat fee. Still, the flat fee is the remedy for all this, but only if the flat fee is done right. And that's what Flatify does. Flatify doesn't take the billable hour as a basis to calculate the flat fee. It takes the aspects that are vital for both the lawyer and the client to calculate a fair flat fee for both of them. For example, it takes the risk a legal matter has, it takes the legal complexity, it takes the client's value, or it takes the aspect which level of automation is used by the lawyer. Fair fee, you might ask, is it worth it? Well, a traditional lawyer works 6 hours and he can bill 6 hours. He might only get paid for 5, but that's a different story. If he gets more effective and can do the same task in only 3 hours, he only can bill for 3 hours. But if he set up a flat fee arrangement, he can disconnect the billing amount from the amount of hours consumed. And that's something magical for the business of law. That's, for the first time in history, makes a law firm able to build an actual scalable business. Yeah. Let's have a look. Ooh. Let's have a look at our demo. Okay, sign in. Ooh. Okay, the main part of our application is the calculator. I already set up some base values. For example, it's 35 euro if I set up a case in general, like setting up the new client and so on. Now, let's, for example, we have to create a new labor agreement with a CEO of a company. It's medium difficult to find out all the facts. It's super urgent. It's a document creation. Let's estimate 15 pages. It's a B2B case. No court representation necessary. Negotiation on 3 days. There is only one party involved, but the other party is represented by a lawyer. I have some automation in place to create the document. The economic impact for the company is really high because it's the new CEO. The risk of liability is medium for me, and the complexity is sort of high because it's a CEO and there's a lot of regulation to be done in the contract. Okay, and based on the base values I entered earlier, that's why I have to log in, that's the flat fee Flatify comes up with. In later iterations, we can also offer to create a quote sheet directly out of the application that shows all the aspects and makes it reasonable for the client where the price comes from. Yeah, that's what we have done, that we're a team of 4 people. We have a Git repository that's public for everybody. And we also have the app online. You can go to flatify.me and try it out for yourself. Thank you very much.
That was perfectly 5 minutes. Thank you very much. Perfect. Please give it up for Team LawRef.
Hi, this is Henning Lisa, and I'm Stephanie. And I work as a lawyer in mostly banking and transactions law. So as such, I want to know about the rules of conduct for securities services providers. So I go on the internet and I look up section 63 of the Securities Trading Act. And as I read through it, I see that it refers to section 80. So I click on it and it opens up in a separate window. And then I remember that the Banking Authority had issued a circular on this matter, and I also am not so sure about the definition, so I have to look them up too. And then I remember there's some directive that section 63 is based on, so after 45 seconds, my screen looks like this. I'm lost, and this is obviously a problem for me.
Okay, so I feel like in your head it looks like this at the moment. So good for you that we just might have the solution for you. It is called LawRef. And from what you just explained to us is that I get that a norm, you look at the legal norm in this way. Like the norm is in the center, and there's norms referencing your norm, and there's citations by this norm to other acts, to other sections of other acts. There's directives of the EU that are higher in the hierarchy of this norm, and there's lower level norms. So what we did is we took this structure, this way of thinking, and we actually put it into an app, a web app. So this is the interface of LawRef. So you were just talking about the section 63 of the Securities Trading Act, okay? So what you can do is you just open that up and you get exactly that structure. So in the center is your norm, the paragraph 63. On the left-hand side, you can see the sections that this norm is referenced by, and on the right-hand side are the sections that are referenced by paragraph 63. So you immediately can see where this norm is in the legal structure. On the top, you can see the directives that are also relevant to this act, and on the top, on the bottom, you can see maybe lower-level laws that can be relevant to you. So what you can do now is you can just open up those citing norms. So you don't have to open up different tabs. You can open them up as you need them. You can read through the norm, and you can just even get highlights to where these norms are. Like there's lots of citations, so we just want to make that easier for you. And as a goodie for you, we also included definitions of norms. So whenever you want to look up a norm that is that has a definition in the beginning of the norm, we just add that for you right there, so you don't even have to look that up. You can also navigate between those citing norms, so you can just open them up too in the center as well. So would that work for you?
Yes, it will be perfect. So is this, are there any new features planned for the future maybe?
Yes, of course. This is not everything. For the future, there are some nice features to add. We want to add code decisions and publications of relevant authorities remaining relevant to your area of law. So you will have everything on your workplace at one overview. Yes, and it's a simple solution for a day-to-day problem, and we hopefully will help you in your future work. If you ask yourself how you might earn money with this solution, one option for us would be to integrate it, incorporate in a bigger solution of some bigger legal discovery service provider, or make a free standalone solution with some additional features to pay for. Those are our options for a business case in this solution. So get rid of all the tabs, use LawRef, and thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much. Is that actually online? Could I use it, because it seems super useful? Not yet. Okay, almost. Thank you. Please send me an email when it's done. It's awesome. Just because you stayed really late last night, you're given this opportunity. Okay, please give it up for Team Evidence.
Hello everyone, we're Team Evidence, and we spent the last 2 days developing a blockchain-based verifiable evidence system which solves the issues of authenticity of electronic evidence. So what's the issue? Let me give you an example. If person A sues person B because of, for example, hate speech posted online, best practice today is that person A takes a screenshot, maybe also asks someone else to take a screenshot, and if they're very sophisticated, they will put a timestamp onto their PDF. And what is the issue with this? The issue is that screenshots generally are extremely weak evidence before court, with or without timestamps, just because they are extremely easily manipulated. And this means that the court will have to employ witness experts to decide if the screenshot has been manipulated or not. And all in all, this means that it's a huge loss of efficiency for all parties, and obviously also decreases access to justice. So what is our solution?
Well, our solution consists of 2 parts. The first part is the actual collection of the evidence. So the user visits a web page, inputs the URL where the evidence is located, and our software then crawls the web page, takes a screenshot, saves the source code. Out of these files, we then create a zip archive and use a cryptographic hash function to calculate a secure hash value which uniquely identifies this archive and the files contained in it. The archive with the evidence is stored in our database, and the hash value is uploaded to the blockchain, to an Ethereum blockchain. And once it's on there, together with a timestamp, it's immutable and uniquely identifiable. We see 2 use cases for this. Low volume users, so single users who just want to take one piece of evidence, could pay a flat fee, a small flat fee. Heavy users, such as lawyers, could pay for a subscription fee to create unlimited amounts of evidence. The second part is the verification of the evidence. So for example, a court can take a submitted zip archive of evidence, upload it, we calculate the hash value again, and compare it with the values stored in the blockchain. If they match, then the evidence was not tampered with and is reliable. To implement this system, we built 4 components during this hackathon. All interaction with the user happens in a web application as a front end, which communicates with a server. We implemented a database to store the evidence and user data, and the server also communicates with the blockchain to upload and download the hash values.
Yeah, I'm going to give you a quick tech demo now, and because it's kind of very abstract what we just talked about. I think I have to maybe reload this because my screen size has saved. Can you see it? Yes. Perfect. So if I'm here on my website, I want to create an evidence, but first I'm going to log in. So I'm going to log in here with my username and my very secure password 12345678. And I have evidences here. You see I'm a very active user. Maybe I'm going to get it a bit bigger. So I have evidence here, but I want to create one, so I'm going to show you that. For example, I want to pitch to you an evidence, and the URL I'm taking is from this webpage. It's tagesschau.de. Maybe you are the photographer of this picture, and you don't want them to use it, or they didn't pay you. So you plug in the URL and put in a description that's not very important. So I'm putting unimportant, because at the moment you don't really need it. we're going to create, and what's happening now is the process that we just described. The web crawler is getting the source code, the screenshot, it's zipping them in an archive, and it's storing them. As you can see, I have a new evidence. It's here, it's my pitch. It has a hash code that's like this, and has a timestamp. I can actually download it as many times as I want. I have it here, I open it, and then I can see in this are contained a PNG, which is the screenshot, and an HTML. I'm going to quickly open it and show you. If I zoom into it, you can see it's the website stored. I can also look on Etherscan here on this view function, click there, and what we will see is nothing because, which is nice, because it was just processed on the Ethereum blockchain to be stored on a block. And this process sometimes takes some time and needs to be loaded, and the 12 seconds showing you the screenshots were not enough, but now it is stored. So if we go back here, I can also check evidence, and I'm going to do that quickly now in order for you to see the full functionality. Evidence, I take my zip file. This is the one I just created. I have a lot because I tried this a lot, maybe. And I'm just going to take it and click check. And what's happening is, it tells me, success, the evidence is valid and was written to the blockchain on this date, today, at 1915, which happens to be now. And you can view it on the blockchain here. And this opens again the blockchain page, the Etherscan page, where you can see the transaction. This is actually a different time code, which is the only reason is this is UTC, it's an hour before. So this is basically our solution. You can see that we implemented it.
So as you can see, just to wrap it up very quickly, it's a working product, it's live on the blockchain. We can create verifiable, immutable evidence, and we hope to basically bring access to everyday citizens to on the spot quickly generate evidence without relying on expensive third parties. Thank you very much.
Perfect. Thank you, Team Evidence. Now, Team Smarties is coming up the stage, while RentRight can already get prepared mentally.
Hey, Lawrence, what are you doing?
Hi, Laura. I'm just working on that question of a client of mine about damn tax law. I'm just struggling for more than 1 hour now.
Oh, is it about the new regulation?
Yeah, it is.
Well, actually, I wrote an email about this issue 2 weeks ago. I will forward it to you if you want to.
Yeah, that would be absolutely great. Oh man, I should have asked you before, I think. So, hello everyone. That was just one example of the problems that lawyers and legal professionals face in their daily work. And we think it's because there's a huge lack of knowledge collection and management in law firms and companies. And I think I disagree with the other group that was talking about the teamwork thing. So I think it's more a thing of time, because not every lawyer has the time to discuss with their colleagues every day, every email, every text. So we came up with another solution. We thought, like Batman, every lawyer needs a sidekick.
Thank you. So that's why we built Robin. Robin is an AI tool which collects and categorizes legal data for law firms and companies. Our goal is to make the work of legal specialists more efficient. So here we are in Robin Knows. On the left side we have the conversation with the clients. In our example, it's about an employment case. So the client is questioning the lawyer. And because of artificial intelligence, Robin tagged some relevant text insert in the window here. We have different kind of sources. For example, we have conversations such as emails. We have related texts, judgment, law literature, and also notification. So then the AI calculates and gives us relevant results. We can see here a blue bar. So for example, this one is really relevant and match our criteria. So this is very useful for my answer and fit my case. This one is the newsletter. so it reached a little more than the half of the blue bar, but I don't think that is so relevant. So I can just click on the red cross. This one is also at the middle of the blue bar, but I don't think it's very relevant for my case and do not fit the answer I want to give. So I can also click on the red cross because Robin knows, but also need to be taught. So that's artificial intelligence. And because of deep learning, Robin knows. We think that Robin could be associated with a lot of different kind of software, such as email solution and, for this case, Outlook. So that's what it looked like. Back to the presentation. Yeah.
Let's talk about the business value. Robin Knows is a powerful AI tool which automatically collects knowledge not only from contracts, but also from texts like emails or memos. And the best is you can run it on your own server or use it online. And in either case, Robin provides data security.
We have a vision because we are also thinking about the future and what can be the further applications of Robin. So, for example, we can talk about translation API with DeepL, for instance. We could also think about an intelligent research tool which could give the clients relevant information for a case. We also would like to link Robin with Code Decision and Literature API. And because that the lawyer is not always at the company, we would like to build a mobile app in order to have his sidekick everywhere. But we are also very, we care about GDPR compliance and anonymization, but we will, on the other hand, share our data for different purposes. So we would like to anonymize the process.
So, I think I already found my sidekicks, so what about you? Thank you.
All right, are you connected? Okay, perfect. Please give it up for Rentride.
Hello, thanks for having us. We are Rentride, and our mission is to make living great again. My name is Manuel Naujoks, and if you, like me, rent an apartment, you probably experience a few difficulties with your neighbors or your landlord. So for example, you have a neighbor who is having a party every night and is producing much noise, and it makes it difficult for you to concentrate, or your landlord raises your rent every month, and this is not so good as well. So how do we tackle this? This is a classic access to justice problem. One slide again. Like Christian, we think it's a good idea to bring the law to where the person is and not have the person to go where the law is. We want to provide an easy and fast and seamless access to the legal advice and to the justice in general. And we want to do that in a smart way and in a highly automated process that runs in the cloud. So, and what is it that we actually did? So we didn't develop a proprietary backend. We didn't create a web app all over from scratch again, because we use a legal product as a service platform and built our legal product on that. So what's a legal product? Legal product is a standardized legal service a law firm offers its clients and its potential clients. And we believe that in 10 years, all of us will no longer create proprietary web apps for our campaigns, for our legal products. We will all build our products on a platform like this. And like we said, we wanted to have easy access to justice. We built an additional channel to our legal product, and we did this with the Alexa speech device. So even a visually impaired person can use this. So, like I said, the legal product as a service will put the legal product in the center, and everything revolves around this. We have then different channels to access this. We can have apps. It comes out of the box with portals. It has an API, which is what we use to power it with the Alexa. And it can do many things. It has workflows, can generate documents, many things. And my colleague will now show a view of those features, and then my other colleague will demonstrate the Alexa speech device. Thank you.
Hey, I'm Martin. So I'm a tenant, and my landlord, Sven Heinzmann, is getting on my nerves because he wants to raise the rent next year. And luckily, the guys of Rent Right have a platform like this and offers me some legal products. And so I log into my account, and I can choose one of these legal products. And I will choose the right product, problems with my landlord. And the system will open me a form generated and designed by a business developer who designed the actual legal product before. So I don't want to bother you guys with filling in those fields, and I've got a pre-filled form. So you can fill in what happened, you can fill in about your actual rent, you can upload the contract of your rent, all on the platform, and then you can name the actual landlord in the evil landlord street. And then you can tell about something yourself. After that, you save it, and the system will load your current cases. And then the next step goes on. You want a legal advice, so you can request one. The system will generate it and customize it for you. So the business developer can build some conditions for the legal advice, so not every legal advice is the same as the other. You can download it and open it again in your document area. Now you have to upload a power of attorney. So your lawyer can actually do something for you. And after that, the system recognizes that and goes into the next step. We've mentioned the workflow engine, and that will do that for you automatically. And the legal attorneys can get a notification from there for that. So that's the part within the web front end. We've got an actual part with the Alexa too. So Tim, go on.
Alexa, frage meinen Anwalt.
Willkommen beim Superanwalt. Was kann ich für dich tun?
Mein nerviger Nachbar ist zu laut.
Wo kommt der Lärm her?
Von einer Party.
Ist das ständig, jeden Tag oder jede Woche?
Täglich.
Okay, ich verklage deinen Nachbarn wegen Lärmbelästigung durch Party. Er macht das täglich. Die Fallnummer ist True MF00 LGD1G.
So the system actually generated a case for you, and you can try it out yourself. It's an actual app. We've built some legal products for yourself, and you can enjoy the platform. And yeah, have a nice day. Thank you for having us.
That was amazing. Thank you very much. Actually, on the very first hackathon that we organized in 2017, a voice interface won first place. So good luck to you guys. Perfect, you're connected. Please give it up for the team Lawyer Race.
Hello, we are Team Lawyer Race, and we want to salute how lawyers do their work. At the moment, lawyers work with standard tools like Micro, STP, Datev, and so on. And some of them work like this, and maybe both. And what we want to improve, or what these software are made for, are writing bills, manage clients' accounts, manage receivables, collision detection, and many, many other special things. And but the main thing is that they collect and process all the data to organize their law firm. And what we want to improve is how the lawyer needs to work. And then we have a quick demo. So we create Lawyer Race, which is a dashboard for the lawyer to work as a project manager. And so we implemented some Kanban technology and combined that with the possibility to connect to nothing. Yeah, thank you. Oh, so you missed it. Okay, but now it's the solution. Yeah, I copy, then I can see it. So now it's better? Yeah. Okay, and so we implemented a Kanban board and all the information the lawyer needs for the specific project. He has his own section with his project he is working on, and he has another section with the projects where he has a task assigned. And if you want to work on a task, he opened it. He can see the task, he can make some comments. I did that. And then he can give the task back, or he can move it so it's done, and the holder of this project now knows what is the current state. How looks a typical project in a real life? Something like this. You have a lot of tasks. What you have to do if you want to buy a company, you have multiple lawyers working on it, and what Lawyer Race also do is he tracks the time you spend on a project. He tracks it in the background. You don't have to type something in, and at the end of the day, end of the week, and I know some lawyers at the end of the month, you can get a view on all your times and all your projects you spend on, and give it back to your timekeeping program. You have always an overview of all your times, and all the lawyers are spending time on it. And maybe if you want to work on a task, something like this, I take that, put it here, or not, because, okay, then I let it here. We connect that also to Lawlift, and then you just can work on your contract or what you want to do, and the Lawyer Race tracks in the background all the time, and then you have at the end of the day all you need to make your time entries. Huh? Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Sorry. Surely the Lawyer Race is directly connected to your local law firm system. You don't need to copy all the data. We can connect that to the major programs at the current state, and maybe in the future we can add some API to give all software companies the opportunity of this amazing software. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's there. Okay, please give it up for Court App.
Yeah, so first of all, hi. We are MyTrial, and basically what we are facing are several problems, in our opinion, which are pretty strong right now in our society. So first of all, processes in trials are very complex and very hard to understand for non-lawyers. As well as this leads to clients being confused by the process, and also makes them sometimes missing like timelines, also making them not understanding what they're actually supposed to do, and also leads to sometimes courts being like overloaded with administrative burdens and stuff like this. And this always happens on a very regular basis on district courts, where we think we can help very much out with our solution. Our solution for this part is obviously MyTrial. And MyTrial is an app which you can download on any mobile device. And the app is basically split into two parts. So the first part is an in-depth wiki guide which supplies information about the German law system, like supplies information about the basic courts we have, supplies information about the basic trials, and also supplies information about the procedures which are repeatedly occurring in our system. So we are basically supplying wikis for those. Next to those in-depth wiki guides, we have a case management system which can be integrated by the courts, allowing them to informate and make it very transparent for the people involved in such a case and such a trial, and for them to get easy information. So as you can see here on the left side of the screen, there is actually an example. It's the information about the social court, which is included in our Trialpedia. And our Trialpedia basically is built on a court page, which has information about all these courts, about trials pages, which have information about the possible trials, for example, the civil lawsuit, and as well as a very important part, the legal compass, which is making it possible for people with language barriers, for example, which are not speaking English or German, to find lawyers that speak their language. As you can see here, this is the interactive court management system based on actually right now user view. On the left side you can see the case ID and stuff like this, which is the information the user would see about his case. So looking deeper into it from a user point of view, this is actually the prototype which we finished during the night today. You can see the information and how we can access it on our app. And as well, we are going to look now into the view of the court, where they set up the trial date, and as well as set up the next steps, and for example can switch the date to show that they already finished like some hearings or got some papers, which enables basically pushes a push-up notification on the included persons, so everybody's always up to date what's happening right now. And this is, for example, the lawyer finder we have. You can select the language as well as the field of law, and it's going to list all lawyers based on your geolocation, which can help you out with this. So looking at our possible rollout, we are actually facing like multiple phases, because as said, the second part of the app needs the courts to cooperate with us. So the first phase would be building the wiki like in depth on a specific field of law and on a specific field of trials. So we're specialized on these cases and can have out the people in this area already. The next step would be to expand the wiki further, like expand into more fields of law, as well as having, if possible, an initial release with the court management system, probably in a specific environment, like like maybe just one district court in a very special case, to see how it actually works, as this is a way less organization to make it, to try it. And obviously, if this succeeds, there's also phase 3, which would be growing our tool, which we would do by collaborating with courts on a bigger scale, and also web scraping cases from public databases. You might wonder why we don't say what we want to do with it, but from our opinion, you probably can't ever have enough data, because often there are problems we don't even know yet, and with such a system, we're pretty sure that we can develop solutions based on the data. So basically, that's MyTrial.
Perfect. So we have 3 more to go, so almost done. We have the team via Calcs now.
All right. Hi. So I assume some of you have already booked a table in a restaurant. It's easy, fast, and reliable. So we did the same, but for lawyers. So let's say you're a person and you have a legal problem, and you need a lawyer. Can you imagine having the power to choose your lawyer and right instantly afterwards to book this lawyer for an appointment? So that's what we did. Okay, this is our mission statement. We bring the lawyers closer to the clients and to the people. our platform is user-friendly, and it helps people finding lawyers nearby and lawyers that fits their needs, because they're classified by skills. It's very easy to arrange a phone call or a meeting. It's just 2 steps. First, picking a lawyer, and then choosing a time slot. Our philosophy is to build a pure platform that connects clients and lawyers. There is no room for deceptive marketing campaigns or false rankings. There, lawyers are ranked by their skills and only their skills. And as a potential client, you have a true freedom of choice. Okay, for lawyers, give you the ability to be visible online without having to create your own website. And yeah, it's cool. And also, it's like you don't have to pay any subscriptions or anything. You pay by appointment, and if the client doesn't show up, you don't pay this appointment. Okay, let's try this now. So let's say I received dick pics from my ex-boyfriend, and I want an attorney, a lawyer, to threaten him, at least a little bit. So I want to find a lawyer in Berlin who is an IT lawyer. I think this would be good. So let's pick a lawyer. So IT perfect, Berlin perfect. The first one looks good. Maybe I will, he has a long description. He's a doctor, that's good. So I'll make an appointment. Okay, so I will describe my situation. I think in a few words it would be enough. So I just did receive dick pics, and I want to send a nice letter from a lawyer to my ex-boyfriend. And there's a lot of availabilities. Thursday, the 5th of March would be perfect at 9 for a phone call. Perfect, let me book this. Great, congrats. So I booked an appointment with Dr. Springer next Thursday at 9.
So from now on, I will receive some data. For example, I receive an email telling me, oh, I need to go to my lawyer, and it's today, and it's urgent, and I will go there. And if there's something happen, and I think, oh my gosh, I can't come, I can just tell it my lawyer, because actually what we want to avoid is that you make any appointments and your clients won't get to you. So we made some reminders per email, and so you can put up and be a little bit more safe on this side. And from the fact that you only have to pay for the clients which are really coming to you, it's all free for you unless you get a real new client.
Thank you.
Yeah, this one is working. So please give it up for the legally compliant DAO.
Hello, my name is Benjamin, and I'm presenting the Real World DAO. So the name has changed, obviously, and what I'm presenting is not really legal tech, and that's why I was not really able to form a team. Surprise. And but I guess the determination is what the world makes the world go round. And before actually getting to the problem, because I guess why we're here, we're looking for problems and then find solutions. Before even getting to the problem part, I want to talk about intention. And I'm going to read this. The intention is to transform our capitalistic society from a greed and profit-driven agenda to a purpose-first approaching, first approach, and to share with one another. So the problem I'm personally facing is that the concept of blockchain-based decentralized autonomous organizations, DAOs, is great, but as we speak today, there is no, however, they are not recognized by local law, so it is impossible to operate a brick-and-mortar business that has real things and real people as a DAO today. So that's our problem. The solution /hack is to use an operational German GmbH and hit the ground running and challenge the legal system by walking the walk instead of talking the talk. So what that means is I made a use of several different open source frameworks which are pieced together with some components still needing to be attached to each other. So a lot of words. So I'm going to just show you the way I work. And it's okay to laugh. Let's laugh for a second. Come on, laugh. So this is it visible? Yeah, so this is basically my business. So it's a, my specific use case is the Teledisco, a highly visible and successful business which serves as a vehicle to build and test the prototype. Once established, it can be of course I skipped here. Once established, it can be drained out and you have an empty framework to be used by any project. So maybe at next year's hackathon, you can own and successfully like just own your own unicorn as a collective. So basically, we're gonna go to the next step here. Ta-da. So this is how I draw my diagrams. And I'm just gonna walk over here and look at this because it's very simple. So what we have is my business, which is a Teledisco, just as a, like it doesn't really matter. It's the smallest disco on earth. It's built in a small phone booth. And you choose your song, put a coin in, and inside you have the smallest club in the world with like fog and like lights and music, and you dance. That's what it is. So basically, as I said, it's successful, it's making money, so it's a German GmbH. And what I've done is put an ERP system on top of it. So that's one of the pieces of the puzzle that I said. I have ERP stands for Enterprise Resource Planning. SAP is one of the big solutions. It basically creates all the process or represents all the processes that any operational business needs. So there we have the contributors, which are the people that actually make the business work. So the ERP records this, and then we know exactly who has done what. The second thing that I'm gonna get out of the ERP is, what am I making? Like how much money is going in, what are my expenses, which essentially, in a very simple way, just generates profits, which are gonna come out of the GmbH. So now here is the contributors are like whatever they've done with the contributions they've done, that's tokenized. So that's where we're entering the blockchain era of the whole thing, where I've said, and that's the second piece of the puzzle, I've set up a Aragon DAO, which is a blockchain-based DAO, and that already provides the tokens. So depending on how much the contributors actually have done in the GmbH, they're assigned tokens which are liquid. That's why the initial term was the liquid ownership. So we have this Aragon DAO is liquid, and it makes the decisions, and like the ownership just changes depending on who does what, and the decisions are gonna go into, and that's gonna be the hack, and that's gonna be the walk that I have to walk for now, and of course that needs some legal crafting. There's gonna be a European cooperative, that's an SCE, which is gonna be established, and that will serve as a parent company to the GmbH to kind of reflect this, and that is going to be, I guess, the legal battle I have to fight, and like I go step by step. So as you can see, this is way less technology than what you've been seeing before. So that's it. Let's do the last slide. So, ta-da! Dream big and don't let money exploit you. You are the capital. That's kind of my message. Thank you.
I love the idealism. That's beautiful. Thank you very much, Ben. Okay, that's really, really brave of Team 9bark to come here with tech problems and still perform. Please give it up double for Team 9bark.
So, 9bark is taking the inheritance process to the digital age. Remember some news from almost the last 2 years ago. CEO dies in Canada and takes $190 million US with him. iTunes, Facebook, cryptocurrencies. What happens to these digital assets if something happens to you? The German court ruled over the decision for Facebook to give away the account of a young daughter for the parents. Do we really have to go through the highest instance always to get access to justice? With Ninebark, we provide guidance, security, and peace of mind. We start with an initial assessment to guide you through the basic steps of the inheritance process in order to form a profile about your digital persona. Regarding on that, or based on that, we can make personalized suggestions for you on what to store in your profile. We've created a platform where you could systematically store assets, assign certain heirs to them, and then securely pass them on in the case of need, in the case of an emergency. So I'm hoping that we now can show you the prototype, and okay. The average user in Europe owns between 90 and 120 online accounts he uses. Those are not only social media, entertainment, and dating apps. This is your financial assets and your private information. And this summed up into 58 billion euros that were unclaimed and lost, and that were in lost and unclaimed assets only in the last year. So with this solution, we empower the user to take control of the digital assets and to organize their lives accordingly. So as you might know, we all die, and the goal isn't to live forever, but to create something that will. Taking not into account technical hurdles on the way. All right then. So, would you do us the honor and give us this little extra time to present the prototype?
You have 1.5 minutes left.
All right then. So let's imagine we have created an account for Maria, and Maria has already been playing around with Ninebark for some weeks and stored some digital assets. So Maria logs into her account and sees her dashboard. Welcome, Maria. And you see on top that she has organized 75% of the digital assets already. Below that, you see recommendations like unlock your phone and store the code to your phone. These are personalized because she hasn't done that yet. And because of the initial assessment, we were unable to show you, unfortunately. As you look down, you can see that this is not only about social media. It's about your financial assets, about your health records, about property and legal documents that you can store here. Let's try this with an asset and click on Add Asset. As you can see, you can put the account name, a link to the web page, a username, and decide who you want to securely share it with. Also, you can leave instructions, the legacy settings, as in delete account, preserve the account, or transfer it securely. Let's try this for Facebook and save the asset. Well, the asset appears smoothly down there on the dashboard. Also, we want to determine whom we can pass it to and when. So we can define an action plan, and by relating an asset to a person, we can do this. So now we want to add another logic behind this. So we click on Add again, and Add. We click on Add, and then we select an asset, for example, Dropbox, and we select a person or a group, for example, family members, where we could pass them on to. Let's try this. Okay. And now pass on will be Dropbox will be passed on to your family members, and they can see all the photos that you've stored there, for example. Also, we want to determine who should be able to access and add maybe other persons. We can do that and add someone. we want to add Sophia. We put that, her email address, and put her into a group and say, okay, and we see that Sophia appears also there on the list. So, if we go up there to Maria's profile, we can see all the information about her, and as well on the other side, the name of her trustees. The trustees are the most important person in this situation because they define when someone would, they would inform us if something unforeseen would happen. So let's lock Maria out and say it's been enough of 9bug for today. Bye, Maria. See you soon. And if you want more information regarding the market size, the business model, or any further financial forecast, we are happy to provide that to you. Please talk to us, and we are happy to share more of our vision of the product and of everything, and excuse us for the technical difficulties. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So, this is the finale. The last moments. Afterwards, obviously, we will get drunk together, but for now we want to behave. Before we get to the nomination of the winners, I would like to give our sponsor, Stefan from SKW Schwarz, the opportunity to say a few words. He's the one sponsoring the open bar, so listen carefully. Thank you, Stefan.
Hello, Berlin! Woo! I am completely thrilled by what you have been doing in the last 24 hours. You know, I was completely inspired by the vibes we've had here, and it's completely cool to see what happens if different groups are coming together, because that's what we all want to do: develop legal services and get rid of Anwalts Hokus Pokus. So without further ado, you know, we are a law firm. I'm coming from a law firm, so that's what we try to do at our law firm. We have different offices in Germany, including Berlin and Munich. So if you are interested in developing the future of the legal landscape, get in contact with us, because we are taking legal tech seriously. We've actually founded a legal tech entity in order to bring that mindset to lawyers. And from my practice, I know that this sometimes can be difficult. We're not a boohoo firm building up huge teams, but we rather have a hands-on mentality. So we are trying to really to find the solutions, and we know that sometimes it's boring, sometimes it's a lot of work, but if we are able at the end to find a sexy solution, that's what we want to do. And we want to have fun in the work that we're doing, so it's no wonder that we are very proud to be the sponsor of today's drinks. And so now, without further ado, it's the 3 most important places that could have been taken today, and I hand over to the jury.
Let me just discreetly hand the jury the checks.
First, I also would like to say thank you to all the members of this great event. We had a lot of fun. It was the first time for me here on a hackathon, so start with place number 3. I would like to congratulate to Team Evidence. That's for you. So we really liked your presentation, and we think there's a lot of potentials on your project, and so we are looking forward to see more about your. I'm sorry. Okay.
Thanks. And the second place goes to Hate Speech Online. Woo! Come up here, guys. Congrats. Congrats. Awesome. check. And we very much liked your enthusiasm. I think you had a great topic. We are interested to see how this will develop, but the work you've been doing, including the plugin that you've been developing over the last 24 hours, really was impressive. So very much earned and deserved. Congratulations.
Yes, the first place. Of course, when I hit this room and I saw all this creative potential here, I was so thrilled, really. You all deserve this first place, really. And a big applause, first of all, to you all, guys. Yeah, but at least on this stage, it can be only one team. And yeah, without spoilering, I say, I think it's probably the end of every good bachelorette party on Earth. Distinction. It was an amazing presentation and yeah, a very good idea you bring on this stage with, you know, an uncommon law firm. And yeah, thank you so much for participation and I'll give it back to you.
Thank you very much to the teams. Thank you very much to the jury. You did a great job. Thank you very, very much. I think we learned one very basic fact that is somewhat surprising, somewhat non-surprising. Even in the 21st century, sex sells. So congratulations to the Extinction. You deserve it. I think you did a great job, even using the space, using everything you have here. You created an Instagram account, you glued pictures everywhere, so I think this is what impressed the jury, among other things. You leveraged what you had at your disposal, so congratulations, that's deserved. Well, my friends, that is it. We spent 2 amazing days together. I hope to see many of you again next year. I hope all of you that had their first hackathon experience are inspired, are gonna visit many more hackathons, are maybe going to quit their job on Monday and say, you know, fuck it, I want to be a legal tech innovator. I'm gonna join SKW or something else. Yeah, I hope you were inspired. For those of you who don't want to wait a whole year to do their next hackathon, I want to quickly pitch a project that we've been working on at the Legal Tech Center. It's called the Legal Tech Bounty Network. It's an awful name, but it says what it is. And it's a website, it's online right now. You can go there, it's a .com domain, and legaltechbountynetwork.com, and you can sign up, and we want to post bounties there from companies that are looking for solutions that sit in your brains and only in your brains. And you can basically earn money by solving challenges online. If that interests you, go there, sign up. We might send you an email about it as well. And with that, I want to close it off. Thank you very much. Please enjoy the open bar and see you again next year. Give yourselves a big round of applause and thank you very much.
Also für mich war es eine sensationelle Veranstaltung. Also es kamen unterschiedliche Impulse aus Ecken, wo ich jetzt gedacht habe, also wäre ich in 100 Jahren nicht drauf gekommen.
Auf dieser Konferenz gibt es die Möglichkeit, wirklich offen miteinander umzugehen und neue Gedanken auszuprobieren, auch Fehler zu machen, was auch im Rechtsbereich eher untypisch ist, zumindest noch momentan. Und ich erhoffe mir gerade für unsere Generation, dass wir dadurch wesentlich kollaborativer werden.
Wir sind den Menschen, die sich für unseren Hackathon anmelden und 2 Tage Zeit nehmen, sich da voll reinzugehen, abzutauchen, zu brainstormen, aber dann auch zu hacken und zu entwickeln. Unfassbar dankbar, weil die machen dieses Event wirklich zu dem, was es ist. Wenn mich jemand fragt, was ist eigentlich spannender, die Konferenz oder der Hackathon, würde ich immer sagen, der Hackathon, weil dort wird wirklich die Zukunft erschaffen. Auf der Konferenz diskutieren wir sie und deswegen halte ich den Hackathon für mit die schönste Seite unseres Events.